Hey there YouTube. Today I want to show you all of this rare 2003 Jaguar S-Type R with 67,000 miles. This car is one hunk of badass. Why? There's a supercharged 4.2 liter V8 under that hood, and it's paired to a 6-speed automatic. Few cars back in '03 had a 6-speed automatic, and this was the most powerful Jaguar they've ever built. It rides on the DEW98 platform, same platform that the current Jaguar XF rides on, even the old Lincoln LS and the Ford T-Bird. It's a beautiful color, suits it well with the chrome wheels. I think the charcoal gray finish would have been better. Not a huge fan of chrome. I do love the looks of this car. I could never get over that oval shaped grille and the circular headlamps. Really screams retro. But unfortunately this was the time when Ford owned Jaguar, so not because it's Ford's fault, but some cost cutting was along the line. This really wasn't a particularly reliable generation for Jaguar, mostly with the electronics. Mechanically they were pretty sound. And check out these 275/3019s. Rear disc brakes obviously. It's an appropriate size here. I wouldn't go any larger than this. Really suits this car well. You'd ruin it if you go any larger. Loving the ass end too. The lip on the edge of the trunk, the dual exhaust tips, and the backup sensors. It really does share looks to its smaller sibling, the X-Type. Look inside the trunk, just push the button. That thing will pretty much guide its way up. Not a very massive trunk. It is very deep though, very shallow. Here to the side we should find the CD changer and for the nav disc. It's a 6-disc CD changer, seems like an Alpine setup. Nothing else. Little cable to unlatch the fuel filler lid, as you see, just in case the latch fails to work. And we should find the spare tire underneath. I would hope so. Yep, there it is. And the battery too. It's a donut, by the way. Look inside. A very attractive and modern looking interior even to this day. It looks rather fresh. Materials are excellent here on the door panel. The wood grains, everything is soft to the touch, up and down below. Door pocket, even the inside of the door pocket is soft to the touch. Power mirrors, I'm assuming all the windows have auto up and down functions. The memory seats, Alpine sound system, you can see right there on the speaker grill. And here is where you adjust the seats, right there. And for the backrest too, I'm assuming this is for the lumbar support and to adjust the height of the lumbar support. And for additional thigh support. This is an extension here, pretty much makes the lower section of the seat longer. You can see, that's pretty cool. You can see the key fob, push the Jaguar logo to flip up the metal key, and yeah, this is where you lock, unlatch the trunk. And I'm assuming this is an approach lamp. I'm not sure if it's a panic function, or maybe if you hold down the lock button it will trip off the panic. Now let me show you around the interior of this S-Type. I believe this is the first ever tour I've ever done of one. And please excuse the additional ambient noise. I left the sunroof open. Allows in more light at least. This is the first and only generation of the S-Type, commenced in 2000. And keep in mind, there was a variety of engines available. There was the entry 3-liter V6 engine, based off the Ford Duratec V6 engine, and it was a good engine. Not identical, of course, Jaguar tuned it to their likings and did some other changes, but aside from that, it's very similar. There was the mid-range 4-liter V8 and the R, which you couldn't go any more than this. This was the most powerful car Jaguar ever produced. I think it had 390 horsepower. Now, back over to comfort to this thing. It's just home base. I'm just loving the comfort to this interior. The seats are appropriate. Backrest hugs your back nicely. It doesn't feel too narrow nor too wide. It's just perfect. And I'm 6'1" and I have a large rib cage, so I feel right at home here. Lower section too, very comfortable. Lots of thigh support, and you saw the extensions earlier. It's just perfect. Legroom, narrow. Very common with Jaguars to have narrow footwells during these times. Large transmission hump and center stack, but still it doesn't make this car uncomfortable. It's perfect. Now the interior, very good in many areas, but in others they just took a colossal dump on. Positives, the entire dashboard is soft to the touch, very rubbery. Over here too, very well done. The exposed stitching, glove box lid, also soft to the touch. Not very large, it's like a little shovel. Hey, fly. Even the classy colored owner's manual. But doesn't shut evenly. You can see this rather ugly gap here, doesn't shut as evenly as it should. And I can notice this wood panel over here over the airbag cover. It's not placed evenly either. Starts out nice and narrow and widens right up. It does have Navi. Everything is in this display over here. It's not, yeah, it is touchscreen. Not always as responsive, but it works. Not a huge fan of that. You have the controls here, and again for the Navi. It works too. Yeah, it's a dual zone automatic climate control. The radio, Alpine setup. Of course you have the CD changer in back. The heated seats, door locks, push to lock and unlock, European car thing, hazards, stability and traction control. The ashtray, very clumsy though. Is a mild smoker, but not for long. You just see a mild jizz mark of a cigarette in there. But it's difficult to access though. And we have this 6-speed automatic. This J-gate shifter. Not a huge fan of it though. But I guess it's interesting because it's always been exclusive to Jaguar. And of course you have the sport mode here too. I'm assuming for more aggressive shift points. The electronic e-brake, one of the first cars to have it. Even the Lincoln LS utilized the system too. Materials are very good here. The center console, this is all a cheap plastic finish, surprisingly. The cup holders, yeah, you can pull this out, it's supposed to pull out, and you have that lining, but why does it reek of rotten milk? It's just disgusting. You should have opened the glove box in order to do that, but that stinks. Ugh. Wow, that really fucking stinks. I'm sorry, it's just that this car stunk and I had to open the door. It had a mild stench to it when I came inside, but as soon as I took this off, it really punched me in the face. Yeah, in the center console you have the power outlet, and it is sure-footed though. The armrest is comfortable and it does slide forward, fortunately. It does rub on top over here, you can see. Not really the most clever design. Now, after sitting here for a little while and getting a better glimpse at the door panel, the upper section really does look rather inexpensive. I've seen this in the Lincoln LS too. Everything is very creaky, the plastic bezel around here. I've seen many of these in Florida where all of this is cracking apart and many pieces of the interior just break into bits. I just never got around to making a tour or showing an example to you all of that. And I don't know what the heck is going on over here. You have one of the most prestigious brands known to man, and they can't even make their steering wheel logo correctly. Racing green color, chipped right off, and you can only see the lines of the Jaguar logo in there. Steering wheel is nicely thick, leather wrap, side bolsterings, cruise control, and the radio controls. You can see the volume, the intermittent speed wipers, headlamps on the turn signal stock, trip computer. This car does utilize HIDs. They are on right now, so you'll get a peek at them later. Front fogs, rear fogs, panel dim, unlatch the fuel filler lid, and trunk. The headliner really isn't that plush, and it's sagging somewhat too. Surprising that this is a northern car and that's happening already. Holder for the sunglasses, it's broken, or it's off track, it's inoperable. And the sunroof doesn't seem to be working. Looks like it has a Volkswagen Gremlin in here. Little problem. What I mean by electricals and Jaguars. Yeah, the oh shit handles, they are damped. The sun visor, thick and sturdy, but doesn't really, whoa, yeah. Vanity light isn't working, and the flap over here also took a dump. The HomeLink garage door opener, map lights, the dome light, rearview mirror dims right there, and the driver's side. Ooh. Wow, both sides are broken. Now you can see the cheap bits that I talked about earlier. The handle's a bit weird. Legroom wasn't great. It's very tight. Before I get to there, materials are very good here on the door panel. The ashtray window does have auto up and down function. The seat itself, somewhat plush, armrest here in the center, and a little pouch with rear AC vents. Believe it or not, that is the same AC vent from the Lincoln Continental that I had behind the center console. Same ones. Look at the front seat again. I do have the seat adjusted to where I prefer, and look at the legroom I have here. It's just mission impossible for 4 adults at the height of 6'1" to fit comfortably in this car. Just the front two will be fine. You can see it's HIDs too. 4.2 liter supercharged V8. Not much to see, everything is covered up. I don't like how there's so much clearance here. I do apologize if the exhaust view wasn't appropriate. There's just no place for me to place my camera behind the car so you guys can get a proper view. Ugh, that's just so awesome. That engine. I just love the sound of a supercharged V8. Now with the windows closed, unfortunately the sunroof will somewhat ruin the tranquility in here. You can hear the supercharger whine. I just wanted to show you around this S-Type. It's very rare to find an R model like this. This one is in pretty good condition, but you have that little gremlin upstairs, the headliner sagging, the sun visors are not doing too hot with their vanity lights and mirrors and flaps and thingamajiggers. But yeah, this is still a badass car. I would love to drive one. I'm sure it will be a blast to drive. But anyways, YouTube, thanks for watching, and I really hope y'all enjoyed this tour.